Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'm looking at some more Dark Horse Studio Proteus manga that I picked up at Second and Charles. This is another one of the series that I got that's missing one issue. I've got issues 1 through 7 of 8, and I just could not find issue 8 in the bins at Second and Charles. I don't know what sick pervert just grabbed the last issue just to piss off the next person that came along. But I was really excited about this one because this is a story by Katsuhiro Otomo of Akira fame. But the art is by Takumi Nagayasu. But man, it looks a lot like Otomo to me. He must have been one of his main assistants on Akira or something, because he has the style down pat. I think he's even actually evolved it a little bit. I think he's a little bit, his line work's like more confident or something. It's a little cleaner, but I don't know if it's just the subject matter. It just doesn't feel as archetypal as Akira though. Like Akira has that juice, but the actual like finish of the art is crazy good, and the details and everything are nuts. So this starts out with this. I don't really like stories that start this way. I'd rather just learn that in the story, but it sets up this world that says that a nuclear war happened and scientists came up with something that was going to fix the climate, and society split into the progressives and the neoconservatives, and the progressives want to use this technology to shift Earth's poles and like realign the planet, and the neoconservatives don't want to do that. And I guess they go into space, and they're gonna like wait up there while like they go ahead and blow up this bomb. The progressive blow up this bomb that does the shift, and so they're going up in space to wait for the climate change to happen. But the neoconservatives are down on Earth, and there's a war between them. I know these pages here must have been done in color, and if you know Otomo's work on Akira, and you can see how good the painting is on the covers. I know these pages were so sick to look at. I'd love to see it, but yeah, you can see it's super detailed, like crazy awesome tech and everything you'd expect from an Otomo book. But given that it's only 8 issues, it's like strangely slow and doesn't really go anywhere. By the end of it, I didn't get to finish the last issue, but I was like looking online, and it seems like there's other volumes. So this 1 through 8 is like this volume, because the story is this woman, Sarah, escapes to Earth and then is like looking for her kids. And that seems to be like the driving force behind this character. And then the story that's in these 8 issues doesn't really address her children at all. It's just kind of mentioned that she's looking for them. So it seems like there's got to be other adventures in the legend of Mother Sarah. And I'd be curious to know if any of them have been translated into English, if the rest of them have been translated. I don't know why this wouldn't have been a success coming out after Akira. I imagine this came out after Akira. I noticed they didn't put until the 4th issue that they start putting Otomo's name on the cover. So maybe it was a big marketing error, like they figured people would know what this was, and then they didn't put it on the cover, and so people just weren't picking it up in the shops and associating it with Akira, or people thought it wasn't his art, so they weren't going to pick it up. But like with Domu, I would have imagined it would have been very popular at the time. And it's a good story, amazing art. It's a little slow burn story, so maybe that was a problem. But there's this town of the neoconservatives that are mining this collapsed city. They've built a new city around a collapsed city, and are mining it with these captured soldiers, slaves that they've captured. You can see the neoconservatives are trying to use Earth in the way, like they're trying to go back to the Earth and just be natural and have no war, while they're still at war and capturing soldiers and stuff. But they have conflict about that. And the world seems just so well thought out and developed, like how all the machinery works and everything, just visually It's really compelling. There's a lot of quiet, panels, pages with no dialogue, and it's just such good art and such good storytelling. You could totally follow along. So Sarah's rolled into town with this merchant, this dealer guy, and they make a couple of friends, a soldier and his girlfriend, or a wannabe soldier and his girlfriend, and they're just kind of finding out about what's going on inside of this collapsed. Here you get, I mean, look at that art; it's amazing. There's this collapsed city, and Sarah goes down and dives under the water and figures out that there's like a gold reserve underneath there, and then pretty much the rest of the story is just the machinations of the characters moving around, trying to take advantage of this information, and the information slowly spreading out, and then people trying to go and get the gold. And so that's really like the whole adventure. And it seems like this is set up to be she's going to encounter kind of these different cities and different societies while she looks for her kids. And when I looked online, that seemed to be confirmed. But I don't know. This is like issue 1 through 8, like it's a one and done deal. So I don't know if that was confusing, like if it would have been more popular, if it had been like advertised as a big chunk or what. I know I've heard of this, but it just doesn't seem to have the same kind of legendary status. But I mean, look at some of this art is really amazing. You can see he's got like the Otomo thing going on, but then can switch into almost like a Akagami type of look, more realistic. This character almost has a little bit of Moebius vibes to him with the hatching. So that's pretty much the story. There's some interesting things in here. Well, here's a really hell of a panel too. And what I was talking about is Otomo on his edges always seems to be a little hesitant with his lines, like he goes back over things. And this artist, Takumi, really has, it seems like the lines are all done at once. So it almost seems like he's more confident artist than Otomo, which is a strange thing to say, but damn, he's good. Once you get an idea of what the art looks like, you kind of get it for the series. It's in this one location, so you don't get a lot of variety, but everything's always filled up. What cracks me up though, and something that I always wonder about, is they go in and finally, like the army has figured out that there's this gold reserve down there, and so they're gonna pull away everything and open up the vault. And I mean, again, this amazing art with huge, massive scale in there. But it's so strange to me that they're like finding this vault, and it's this post-apocalyptic society where they're growing like vegetables and stuff, and they're all just slobbering over they find this gold. And it's something, and they're talking about gold and jewels, and oh my god, it's gold, it's all solid gold. And I'm imagining like in a society like this, like I guess I've never understood why gold is what we place our value in. Like it doesn't, we just have like bricks of it and that backs our money. It's not like food. It's not like having livestock or a farm. There's no functional value in gold. It doesn't make good weapons. It's too soft. It's only based on the fact that it's pretty, as far as I can tell, that gold has been something that we've obsessed over so much and placed all this value on. And that's always something that has made me curious, like what it is about gold that human beings are so drawn to, and why that it's the gold standard for all of our money, and why in a post-apocalyptic society wouldn't you be more excited to find like gigantic vault of like canned soup, you know, like rather than gold. I don't know. That's just a strange thing about humanity to me. And I haven't been able to read the last issue, so maybe that's part of what Otomo was talking about, because he is talking about, humanity and like how it's always going to fraction into two camps, and how they're going to say we're trying to be the side that's natural and not at war, but they're going to be at war. And those things come down to like placing our faith in these things that are made up values that really aren't worth anything. Maybe that's part of where he was going with this obsession with gold. I don't know, because I haven't read the last issue, and then apparently there's many other stories after this. So I don't know if that's kind of the point or if it's just him accepting this weird thing about humanity. But yeah, really happy I picked these up. Beautiful art. Wish I would have got the last issue, and would really love to know if if the whole thing's been translated into English, and I got to look for all of them, or if there's volumes of this out there that are available. If I'm just gonna have to read scanlations of this, but I definitely want to finish it, and goddamn, I'm impressed with the art. One of the best ways that you can support what we're doing here on the channel is to support the books that Sean's putting out through Living the Line. The first book that he put out is The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. It's a collaboration between Dave Sim and myself. The book was recently nominated for an Eisner Award in the Best Reality-Based category. It's a deep, deep dive into the artwork and methods of Alex Raymond and the mystery surrounding his death in a car crash. So if you haven't grabbed that already, please do. There's also Yokoyama Yuichi's Plaza, which is a totally intense manga by an artist who has somehow figured out how to distill manga down to its purest essence. This book was successfully funded on Kickstarter, but if you missed the Kickstarter, you can order it through any comic store, any bookstore, Amazon, any place that you would normally get your graphic novels from. The Abolition of Man is a 5-issue mini-series done by myself and Sean in collaboration with the Midjourney AI. What you're seeing here is the cover to issue 1 and the first couple pages of issue 1. This first issue, we fed it an essay by C.S. Lewis, and this is just the imagery that the computer spat back at us. Issues 2 and 3 are a narrative, starting with the story that I wrote when I was 21, and then Sean's going to write issue 3, picking up where I left off. In this one, I'm kind of trying to force the AI to give me the images I want, and then doing some tweaking in Photoshop to get these kind of colored looks on it. For issue 4, we're turning the task of writing over to the AI as well. So the AI has written the script, and then we've just put that into the Midjourney AI, and it's turned out art. The script and the art is some of the absolutely most horrific stuff I've ever seen. We're a bit scared to even publish this issue. And I don't have any art to show for it yet, but Sean and I have decided to do a 5th issue of Abolition as well, because we have someone who we're really, really excited to have on board, providing an essay for that 5th issue that we'll illustrate, and we'll announce more about that soon. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.